What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA
Wednesday, August 12th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, let's take a look at this 4-game main slate. At the point guard position, I like Goran Dragic from the Miami Heat playing the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have a good defense overall and they're middle of the pack defending opposing point guards. Goran Dragic has averaged 27.6 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 28 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. He scored 33 fantasy points in 30 minutes last game. He's projected at 27.8 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $5,500 FanDuel salary and $200 less on DraftKings. So I like Goran Dragic here versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Alec Burks from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors, who have a middle of the pack defense overall, and they give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing shooting guards. Alec Burks has averaged 26.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. He scored 34, 28, and 29 fantasy points in his last 3 games, so this guy's been on fire. He's projected at 24 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.7 times value. He's still only $4,200 FanDuel salary and $700 more on DraftKings. So I like Alec Burks here versus the Toronto Raptors. Okay, and I got a stud for you. I like Paul George from the LA Clippers playing the Denver Nuggets, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing shooting guards. Paul George has averaged 36.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 29 minutes per game with a 30% usage rate. He's projected at 38.2 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's $7,500 FanDuel salary and $900 more on DraftKings. So I like that FanDuel price. So I like Paul George here versus the Denver Nuggets. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing small forwards. Pascal Siakam has averaged 40.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 35 minutes per game with a 28% usage rate. He's projected at 38.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.4 times value. He's $7,200 FanDuel salary and $300 more on DraftKings. So I like Pascal Siakam here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay, and another small forward here, mid-range play. I like Darius Bailey from the Oklahoma City Thunder playing the Miami Heat, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing small forwards. Now, Darius Bailey has only averaged 13.2 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 18 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. But take a look at these last 3 games. He's played 34, 26, and 27 minutes, and he scored 44, 35, and 23 fantasy points. So he's only projected at 16.5 fantasy points here tonight, but I think he's going to score at least 25 fantasy points here because of the increased minutes. He'll get added production, so I'm going to update that projection. He should get you at least 5 times value here. He's $4,800 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. So I like Darius Bailey here versus the Miami Heat.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. I like Robert Covington from the Houston Rockets playing the Indiana Pacers, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing power forwards. Robert Covington has averaged 29.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. Now, he's a little overpriced here, but I think that's because they know he's going to get minutes. And in these final games of the season, playing players that are going to be out on the court, that's what it's all about. You don't want to play a stud who's only going to get 15 minutes of playing time. So he's projected at 31.3 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.6 times value. He's $6,800 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. So I like Robert Covington here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, and from that same team there, I like Jeff Green from the Houston Rockets playing the Indiana Pacers, who we know have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus power forwards. And Jeff Green is in the same position here. He's only averaged 16 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 20 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate, but he's played 31, 21, and 27 minutes in the last 3 games. He played 31 minutes in that last game, so I'm expecting more of the same from him tonight. So he's projected at 18.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.6 times value, but I think he gets you over 20 fantasy points, gets you at least 5 times value. He's $4,000 FanDuel salary and $400 more on DraftKings. So I like Jeff Green here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I'm going to give you a value play here. I like Chris Boucher from the Toronto Raptors playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a good defense overall, and they've been good versus opposing centers. Chris Boucher has averaged 15.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 13 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. But take a look at his last game. He played 29 minutes and scored 53 fantasy points. So I'm hoping he's going to get the same amount of minutes or more and at least put up 30 fantasy points here. He's projected at 18.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's only 3.9 times value, but that projection is a little bit low. Needs to be increased a little bit because of his increased playing time. So he's $4,600 FanDuel salary and the same price on DraftKings. So I like Chris Boucher here versus the Philadelphia 76ers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.